Let me just bring him here. Yeah. Let me begin the session as the timer started. So, welcoming each one of you to the third day uh, sharing session on at the ninth International Conference in Human Values in Higher Education. And as we all know, that the theme of the conference is value-based education for a humane society. Uh, it is nice to see, to hear all the institutions sharing how they have implemented and what has been the process of exploration for each of the institution. This particular session is dedicated to individual sharing. And at the individual sharing, we have four presenters. We'll introduce one by one. And right now, we also have our chairpersons with us. Uh, I have the honor of introducing the chairperson. The first chairperson whom we have with us is Dr. Nikita Vats Duhan. And she is the director training of that is the skill values and ethics uh, at the Sage University Indore. She is the ex-director of Engineering Institute, a chairperson of education activities in IEEE, secretary of industry relations cell in IEEE India. She is also the senior professor in CSE at the Sage University Indore, life member of CSI India, and a senior member of ACM Professional Societies, program officer of NSS unit, and heads the Socio Eco Club. Welcome to you, Dr. Nikita.
Thank you.
Nitika, I'm sorry, Nitika.
Thank you.
Welcome to you. I hope you'll have enriching experience today. We also have amongst with us our second chairperson, Dr. Vinay Chidri. Dr. Vinay Chidri had been holding high positions in MIT, that is the Maharashtra Institute of Technology at Aurangabad. Currently, he's heading the UHV cell, uh, and he's the advisory member for the institute also. He has been exploring UHV values since the past more than 4 years, and has been a very active volunteer, faculty, a resource person for the faculty development programs, both online and offline. There are many laurels to his credit also. Welcome to you, Dr. Vinay Chidri.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And we have four presenters. And amongst the four presenters, we have with us Vanshna Didi, Dr. Vanshna Singh, Jitendra Chhabra ji. We have Mr. Swapan Chanana, who's the director at Ludhiana PCT Group of Institutes. So, and myself, we are four of us who are going to present our own journey. And I request Vinay ji to take over the lead. We'll first begin with Vanshna ji, followed by Jitendra ji, Swapan ji, and myself. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I would request.
As far as time is concerned, we have 15 minutes each presentation, totally 1.5 hours. So some time can be given to question answers. Every presentation can be 15 minutes, 5-minute question answer, or any interaction. Thank you so much.
So, good afternoon. I would request Vanshana Singh, Dr. Vanshana Singh, to initiate our presentation. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. Am I clearly audible to all?
Yes, you are audible. Very clear.
Yeah.
So, namaste to all our esteemed delegates, panelists, and everyone present over here. And this is a moment to give my own personal sharing, my own accomplishments through my journey of UHV, with a special focus today on parenting and understanding the meaning of love, care, affection, guidance. So, just to briefly introduce myself and my family, I am Vanchana Singh, and I've been involved as a teaching professional over the last 25 years. I was associated with one of the colleges, and since last year, I am currently focusing more on my own understanding of UHV proposals. Uh, so, uh, when I look at my journey back, some 7 years back, when I first formally introduced myself to a workshop, even though I was earlier aware of UHV as a subject within the college, since in our university at AKTU, in our college, Indraprastha Engineering College, this was already running as a full credit course. But I, being a person with a physics background, was not teaching it at that moment and was not having much idea. But we had some discussions within our colleagues who were taking up this as a subject for the students, and they were working on themselves. And I could see small shifts which were observable from outside in them, which was really encouraging for me. And then I got this chance towards the end of 2017 to be part of one of the workshops which was held in my own college. And that was one great opportunity. So eagerly I enrolled for that and I became part of that workshop. That was the first time I was formally introduced to the UHV proposals. For 8 days, the workshops used to be held for 8 day format. And for those 8 days, we were exclusively focusing on these proposals. And the entire workshop was really eye opening for me. At that point of time, I, being mother of two daughters, both my daughters were quite young at that point of time. And it was something like a huge responsibility on me to raise them rightly. And somehow I had always been a hardcore academician. Uh, Being with that background, even though I never tried to force anything on my own children, somehow it filtered down to them. And they were also quite focused as far as academics was concerned. But with my elder daughter, I could see that she was always pressurized. In fact, one of the incidences that I want to share was that when she was in her prep class, um, when she was just 5, I suppose, at that point of time, one day she had a test of 3 letter words, the cat, bat, rat kind of a test. And I was not the kind of person who will every day sit with children to mug up something or something like that. I always felt like one needs to impose this self-learning methodology for oneself. So I always used to allow them to be free and take their own responsibilities on their own from the very beginning. I was also taking up my own classes within the college and all that. So in the evening, I used to just play around with them, and we were not concentrating on some kind of study pattern for the child or something like that. So she said, Mama, I have a test. And I said, okay, fine, you might be knowing. But I realized that my child is extremely pressurized in memorizing those 3 letter words. And at that stage, when the child was just 5, I could feel that immense pressure on her. And that experience, that very day, those 4 5 hours which I had to spend with my child, relaxing her and all that, was really nightmarish for me. And I thought that probably as a mother I have failed somewhere, I have not helped my child enough, and this 5 year old little girl is feeling so perturbed and all that. And that was very disturbing for me. But I kept it to my heart. It was deeply imprinted. I never showed it to anyone, but it left those marks on me. And I tried somehow to ensure that my child gets calmer. But what I saw was over a period of time that pressure was building up. Somebody who's pressurized even at the age of 5 was a part of her sanskar somehow. I don't know. Or maybe something I gave as a part initially during her formative years. I really can't connect at that point of time. And with the second one, I became more careful. So I found her a little bit more carefree as compared to the elder one. But when I looked at the workshop and these proposals came to me, I could see that I was not really understanding the meaning of feelings. So that was the first thing which I could relate to, that I'm not aware of the right kind of feelings, how to ensure those right kind of feelings. And I started working on myself. That was the connecting point. And with the very first workshop, I could feel that connection, and sufficient opportunities came my way. And I started taking up this journey for myself, working on myself, looking at the right feelings for myself. And what I could see was, with time from 2017 onwards, I got the right direction to work upon with my own students, with my own children, with my family members, with whomsoever I started my interaction. I could see those little shifts within me. I could focus more. I could understand the difference between care, guidance, and how to look at the other person and one own self, instead of just focusing everything with respect to physical facility. As an individual, as a human being, since I started relating human being as a coexistence of the two realities, the self and the body, and that helped me a lot in raising my own children, and of course my interactions at the college level, and all that was happening around. So what I could see was that the journey cannot be very rapid. This COVID time came as a boon for me, because during that COVID time, I started from 2017 end. So I was exposed to the content. I was being part of some workshops as observer, and so many other opportunities came my way. And there was a continuous effort that I was trying to take on myself. And that effort was reflecting in my interactions with my own children. So somehow this domination was deeply ingrained within me, which I never felt initially. uh, the words were always polite, but I would pass statements like, you have to do it, beta, and my girls would never say that they can't do it. So somehow they carried that pressure, which I never tried to do knowingly, but it was happening unknowingly. And that gave me a lot of reflection when I took all these proposals. And parenting was something which was a deep concern for me. From the very beginning, I always felt this huge responsibility within me, even though I was not directly connected to UHV at that point of time. But I always thought that parenting is something which is a huge responsibility to yourself, to your own children, and of course to the society also, because we are raising the next generation. And therefore, all this touched me a lot. So what I see was a shift in the way I started interactions. So the discussions became more frequent with my own children, where I could listen to them, I could connect to them, and equally facilitate them with right kind of proposals. There are times when we have discussions with our own children, but as a parent we don't know how to help them to explore the right proposals for themselves. So what UHV enabled me was to look at the right proposals for myself, and then help the other also to explore the proposals. This whole journey of self exploration is becoming more and more fulfilling for me. And I could see these little shifts, the whole environment within the family, the way my girls now look at the world, the kind of perspective they are developing. By 2020, the COVID time provided an opportunity for these online workshops. And with the online workshops, in fact, I I assume it to be a boon to me that throughout the day, somehow some or the other content was coming across, because I was part of the workshops, I was taking workshops. So even though the girls were not directly attending the workshops, but they were getting some or the other content. And I could see this little shift coming within my girls, where they were slowly shifting from being competitive to being collaborative, working for their own harmony. And these were very rewarding for me. That is what I could feel for myself. I see them taking their journey. So during the time when the child is most pressurized, especially class 11 and 12, uh, that was the time. My daughter, she completed her JE in 2021. That was during the COVID time. And that was the stage when the pressure mounts the most on a given child. Uh, so what I could see was from 2020 onwards, this whole lot of proposals, these discussions, these family get-together, so-called across the dinner table, where they might hear something throughout the day, and they'll post some query as to why you were saying this thing in the workshop, the kind of examples we discuss. All that was helping them to evolve. And I could see both of them taking up their own responsibilities. So 2021, when she sat for her competitive exam, that is JEE mains and advanced, I could see how she has been extremely comfortable, even though that is considered to be a very tough exam and the children are so pressurized and we see so much in terms of news here and there. But what I could find was that the same child who was at 5 absolutely perplexed with these 3 letter words, now over a period of time evolving within herself, taking up her own journey, and we are growing together. So I could see that as a parent I was growing. I am equally as old in parenting as my child. So I was also learning a lot. And these discussions, I could put my perspective, and very openly, they could also tell me their own perspectives. So all that is helping a lot. And these discussions are continuing. So she was very settled. The other one could not show that discomfort during the initial growing up age. But once the elder one left for the hostel, the younger one started showing those signs. I don't know, with the elder one clearing her exam, the younger one started feeling extremely pressurized. And at that point of time, these proposals helped me as well as my child to connect and to work on oneself. So somehow, with the elder one moving out to the hostel, once she cleared her JE and she went to IIT Bombay and all that, this whole pressure, somehow the younger one, who was otherwise very carefree and very bubbly, she took that pressure. And I could see a remarkable decline in the kind of interactions she otherwise used to have. But going through these proposals, she was also able to relate so many things. And I could see over these 5-7 years, very swift kind of sailing for my girls, for myself. So some of the most toughest times as parents, so many of us would say, is when the children enter the adolescent age. And now that both my girls, one is 18, the other one is 21, one has gone for her medical at GMC Nagpur, the other one is at IIT Bombay. Uh, what I feel is those 7-8 years without these proposals, probably I would not have been able to raise them the way I'm helping them. And I owe a lot to UHV. I think I've been able to understand care is to the body, guidance is to the self. And as a human being, at each and every level, guidance holds higher priority. So if a child skips a meal, That is a concern as a mother. But the more concern is how perturbed the other individual is at the level of self. And only this right understanding of feeling can ensure I get clarity for myself and I facilitate the other also. Of course, it's their journey. I do understand I am taking little steps. They are also taking little steps. But I find them growing stronger each day. And that is something which I can tell about. And that's how I have understood the meaning of love, the feeling of affection, the feeling of care, the feeling of guidance for myself. There's a lot to share, but we have to take care of the time. So with this, maybe I can answer few questions if we have some questions from our participants over here.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Vinay Bhaiya, your voice is very low. If you can just,
Hello.
Ji Bhaiya,
Hello. Is it okay now?
better, slightly better.
Yeah. So thank you very much for your sharing, and it's visible the efforts which you are taking, and fortunately we are able to help our children also. So if there are any questions from attendees and panelists, please you can raise your hand. Anyone having any question to ask to Vanchana Devi? It seems
Can I ask Sopan?
Ji Bhaiya, please go ahead.
We are in the same stage. Like my children are also growing, and they're also preparing for these competitive exams. So again, I also need guidance in this because there's so much pressure of these technical subjects. And then when I'm trying to give them the proposals, like okay, daily routine, because they're studying so hard, that's spending so much time. So they're losing on the sleep and all that. Although I'm also trying to give them the proposals. But then again, because your children are already now away to the hostel, are they in touch with you? Because hostel life is again a lot of pressure, and then there also we can see the daily routine also. So just guidance on that again. Although you have spoken, but more guidance on this.
In fact, both girls being girls maybe are more expressive, what I in generally see. So they do keep discussing all the things throughout the day. So we have these group calls as a family. All 4, 5 of us, including Dadi, get connected on calls at least twice a day so that they can describe their day. So something like Parivar Sabha or whatever one may give a name. This is our common meeting time because all of us follow different schedules, but we usually keep 9 p.m. as a time after dinner to have around half an hour talk with both the girls who are staying in Bombay and Nagpur right now. And what is important is that our children do listen to us, but probably we are in a hurry. Why the very next day they don't change? If we look at ourselves, we are also taking our set of time. So we are just putting up the proposal, but if we are in a hurry, probably we disturb them again and again. So that is something which I have learned over a time, that the proposals reach to the other and the other is taking time to reflect on and advancing on his or her own journey. And as a facilitator, as a supporter, as a co-explorer, I need to stand by and not judge there. So if somebody will do some mistake, one will automatically be able to see that I am not able to follow what was told, and the children do come back, of course, to the parents. That's the first thing that comes to their mind. But as parents, sometimes we don't let our children take up their own mistakes also. We start guarding them. So I suppose this is the true feeling that I can see. Just like my child, every other child will take that course. So I should see my child as equivalent to the other also. There's nothing special about my own child also. So that is something which I think will help.
Very nice, Devi. Thank you, and best wishes to you for further journey.
See, Bhaiya, of course, we all know we have to talk so much, but time is a limitation. So that's all from my side. Ji.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Manjuna Didi. We have heard you since 2020. The first time we joined workshop at KP and we could listen to you from since then. You have been always a guiding light to all of us, a mentor to all of us. So thank you very much. Now we can go to the next sharing. Who is it? Second sharing?
Sopanji.
Yeah. So I welcome Sopanji.
Okay.
We have heard you in morning session every day, almost every day. So let us hear from you. Thank you.
Namaste to all. So I will try to be as honest as possible in sharing my journey of this UHV and then my how I'm changing and my topic, but I've just taken it that how the stability within me has increased, or it is still a journey. So I'm still in the process. So if I go back to when my younger days and then joining teaching and all that. So right now I'm in Ludhiana, teaching in a college for last 25 years, PCT group of institutes in the Department of Business Management. And then in my family, my wife is there, my two growing children are there, and then my mother is there, brother is there with the family, and sister is also there with the family. So I found that if I go back, I found that there was a lot of because everything was with me, means my family, all that, even my workplace. But somehow there was some emptiness within me, means hollowness. Still, everything I was doing, trying to be a good son first, and then trying to be a good brother, and then trying to be a good colleague, trying to be good husband, trying to be good father also when the stages came. But somehow I think there was some hollowness. I was not fulfilled within. So I think the reason may be that I was just looking outside and seeing the others, how are they doing, and then trying to follow them. So this is how our training is, that we have to be in different stages, what are our expectations from different roles. So even as I was also trying to fulfill that. But again, there was somehow some kind of expectations from my side, from others, and even people have expectations from me. Somehow they were not being fulfilled, and then there's a lot of frustration inside, or then it was shown outside also. So then we are very fortunate in Punjab, in Ludhiana, Punjab. This Punjab Technical University introduced this course of UHV way back in 2011. But then there were workshops also, means PTU officials told us that you have to have the workshops. So forcibly the teachers were going for the workshops, and I also attended a workshop. I was fortunate enough to attend a workshop in Chandigarh from Ganesh sir. And I was not forced to be there. I just went there because my other colleagues were going for it, and they were saying that, okay, there is something good in this. So obviously there was some emptiness, hollowness was there, and then I found that, okay, let me go there. And the 3 days workshop, when I listened to proposals, we had workshops in my PCT also, where Bhanu Pratap sir and Gopal Babu sir also came way back. But then due to my responsibilities in the college, and I could not attend the workshops fully. But still, I was attracted toward these proposals because I knew that somehow I think this is the solution which I was trying to find out. But somehow the journey became very slow because I was not able to attend fully the workshops. And then, as Dr. Vanchana said, Corona came, and then the pace got slowed down. And then I got an opportunity. Now it's online workshop. Then again, I got a message from Jatinder Narula ji from PTU that we are organizing a workshop because he knew that I am there, but not fully into it. Then he said that now it's an opportunity to attend. Then I attended a online workshop, and then I will bring that this course was being taught in my college in various courses. Then one of my colleagues, Dr. Kapil Prashar, he was also into this and he was teaching already the course. Then he said, sir, start teaching this course, then you will be getting, and you can do it because we have seen that you have that talent or like that. You please. But then I admit that I would like to be honest here. I was scared teaching this course because I knew that if I have to teach this course, then I have to bring changes in me. Like before that, if I go back, there was a lot of I was not really living the original life. Means it was like just showing outside that I was just pretending to be in different roles, but then I was not into myself. Originality was not there. So then I was scared that I have to work on myself. But then with the motivation of all this Corona, and then you have to do something, then I started teaching online. But still, I was not getting into it. Still, there was a gap within. I was not able to answer students' questions. And then, because when the priority becomes when you are into it, then I think now you have to take it with full zeal. So I started finding the videos and all that. Then I got to know the videos of Ganesh sir. And then I think that was again a turning point. And during the Corona, I suffered from the Corona. My family suffered with the Corona. But then this self journey, means the journey within, started. So that helped in Corona also, to overcome Corona of my body also, and then even my mother also, because she is now 82-year-old. And then, as Dr. Vinay said, the real turning point came, the morning sessions happened in 2021. And that again, I was fortunate enough to start with Ganesh sir, and then even now the journey is on. So there I was introduced with this, that happiness is my innate nature. I could not understand this the first time, this line. And I was not aware of all this natural acceptance. So I was teaching the course, it was nice, but the real exploration started after the morning session, I will say. Then I really got to know that, okay, the self is so important, and the self and the body difference, coexistence. And then it is your imagination in the self which makes you happy. And then this process, I started with this different steps. And then my feeling is my responsibility. Like even Dr. Vanchana said, that feelings are very important. We were just trying to look from outside expectations. We were trying that. I was trying to control, and my children also, my wife also, my mother also, that they should live according to me. I was not aware of these words, preconditionings and all that, whatever these sanskars, people live with that only. As I could not see my sanskar, my preconditionings, but then when this journey started of this looking at the self, looking within, then I started finding the stability along with that. So it's a process. My feeling is this: it's a process. We all have to go. Proposals we are getting. We all are getting the proposals, but then are we into the process? So only when we get into the process, then I think we will get the results also. But what result I am looking for is this, that even that also matters. Means what is happiness? Even we are not knowing about the happiness. Happiness means for me was that, okay, people appreciate me. I'm doing a great job everywhere. Then that was not happening. That was bringing frustration. And then even my children was very, sometimes I was reacting with them. My children were very expressive. Like my son used to say that you're trying to always play a victim card. So I never understood that, okay, because I was trying to tell them that, okay, I'm doing so much for you. And again, that being special ego. But that was the reason I think I was unstable within. I was not knowing that what is the purpose of my life. But after this UHV, the morning sessions and seeing these volunteers and co-explorers means the canvas of the life can be so wide. I never understood that even within my family, I was not getting the satisfaction. But now, after this UHV journey, I can say my relationships have improved a lot with all, means even with my mother, a lot of opposition was there because of her preconditioning and wife and all that. But now, and nobody is going through this journey. I am working on myself. So, and then this difference between self and body. And it was even coming to my body also, these frustrations, if I look back. And then I had a constant headache. And this constant headache, again, I think was the reason that there were a lot of contradictions in the self. So I never took a pill, but then I was trying to find out the piecemeal solutions that I used to run a lot, do a lot of physical work to get out of that headache. But then again, I was suffering in the relationship. I knew it, but I was not finding any alternate solution to that. So thanks to this UHV, it was there for many years. But then when I took it seriously, the important point is this: when you decide, nobody can change you. Like my wife and all that, they tried, but then I can change myself. This is also what knowledge, as even Dr. Vanchana said, that it is the children also, we want to change them. But then all of us have to go through that process of journey of to know the difference between self and the body. And the body has to be, now body has to be, it's a coexistence of self and body. And then it's a coexistence of everyone. Means I'm complementary to my body. The health of the self will bring health in the body. Now my headache is not there because I'm resolved within him. But it's not that it has gone. Sometimes if I go back to my preconditioning, then again it starts happening. But now I'm aware that I'm responsible for that. Nobody else is responsible. And then even the health in the body is improving, like without all that inputs we are getting for intake, daily routine, physical work. So my body has got leaner, means I've reduced weight, but then my efficiency, my effectiveness, my commitment to my work, my body is now even better, I think. And the most important is this: now I'm getting the purpose of the life, as most of the people who are sharing here were not even clear about the purpose of the life. So important that this education has to come into our mainstream. And then now I'm teaching to the classes, and I'm fortunate enough, again, PTU, that we have this course in all the courses like BBA, BCA, BTech, MBA. And now there is a team development. This is how this journey says, after self-development, the team development, because I see the people are around you so frustrated. So I was there also in their league sometime back. Now my participation, if you go to the higher activities of the self, you can see the people in the pain. And then I'm trying to see their pain, and then I'm trying to see the relationship with them. And then I'm also helping them. So I got a team now for teaching this course. So we all sit together, and I also give them the proposals, and then I'm always there to take their classes, any topic. But then you cannot stand to with the students till you are transparent. So I share my journey, like I'm sharing here, that how much I have improved, my relationships have improved, and my body has got better. And even I'm part of the nature. I'm not special, so there's a complementarity. So this kind of thing, even students are listening these proposals very nicely. And then even I'm seeing that your stability is growing within, even the parents when they come, because I am handling the student welfare office. So sometimes the system takes some measures to the students and the parents, which they don't like. So they come with a lot of opposition sometimes. But then in this UHV, we have learned this is an opportunity. If people are in opposition, they're coming with a lot of preconditionings. So then I find that this is an opportunity. Now I'm getting stable within, I can see their pain. And then I spend time with them. And I'm not giving the solution as they want, but then, as Dr. Manchana said, if you discuss with children, you give them the time, listen to them, give them space. So then we reach to some common point, and with that relationship in this center. So I'm not able to see the time clock, how much time I have
Yeah.
with me now.
Yeah,
it's-
time
I
up.
think we have, yes.
Time is up.
Yeah.
So I think I've just explained everything, that the journey is on, but it's a beautiful journey. I don't know about the destination, but journey is beautiful. I'm getting better. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sopanji. I don't know, I think we lost Vinay's voice.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can take Jitendra ji next.
Yeah. So I welcome Jitendra Chhabra ji. Yes, sir.
Namaste, sir. Am I clearly audible?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm started. So, namaste to all. I'm Dr. Jitendra Chhabra, working as an associate professor in EC department at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, and I'm in this teaching profession since last 16 years. I got the privilege of attending the first UHV workshop in 2019, and since then I have attended 8 5-day workshop comprising of UHV 3 and UHV 4. And from the very first workshop, I got inclined to the contents of the value education. And then after self-exploring the proposal given in the value education, I have been able to understand things in almost all spheres of my life, whether it's individual domain, family, society, or nature. But the two fields where I feel that I've been able to understand the most, apply the most, and then contribute the most are the professional domain and my parenting part. So to start with the professional domain, I would like to start by sharing an incident from my first UHV workshop in 2019. And that workshop, I kept asking a question to the resource person that this PhD thing which I'm doing is not my natural acceptance, and it's more like peer pressure, and it's more like completing the AICT requirements to be in this field. So from that point of view, it's not naturally acceptable for me to continue with my PhD. And this is the reason why I'm not being able to do anything significant since the last 3 years of my enrollment. That is, I enrolled in PhD in 16, and till 19, I was not able to do anything significant. So although I didn't get a concrete answer in the workshop, because the workshops are not meant for the ready-made solutions. They actually guide you to stability where you can find the solutions on your own. So when I joined the institute, the back, and then asked the same question to Gopal sir, that now I have gained clarity that I'm going to contribute in this value education field, and this PhD is of no interest to me, and I want to contribute full-time in value education. Then Gopal sir said me two things which had played a pivotal role in shaping my future career. The first thing he said that, okay, fine, that you are now clear that you want to contribute in value education, but the people might not understand that it's your inclination towards the value education which has prompted you to leave your PhD and join the value education. And even at some point of time, you may also feel that it was your lack of interest or failure in the technical domain which has moved you to the value education. So first point was valid enough to get an answer that this PhD thing I'm not going to drop. But the second thing was even more impactful. He said that just imagine you complete your PhD and reach a senior position. And from that senior position, you are contributing in value education initiatives. Then a person in the technical domain who is at some senior position and he is talking about values, then there must be something regarding these, something more impactful regarding this value education. And in that, your initiatives and the depth of the content of value education which will be passing through you will be much more. So these two factors help me in cutting my distractions and giving me a new motivation to complete my PhD. And just 2019, and in 2 years time, 2 years and few months time, 2 year, 3, 4 months time, I submitted my PhD and completed my PhD with 6 SCI papers and 4 Scopus index papers, whereas the requirement was only the 3 Scopus index papers. So with that, I thought that this value education gave me clarity on what to do, and then how to do was taken care by my mentors in the PhD. So after 2, 3 months, in I think November 2021, I completed my PhD. In 2, 3 months, and I was promoted to associate professor. In my promotion interview as well with the Director General sir, I gave the full credit for this PhD completion to this UHV and my mentors, where this motivation part was taken care of by UHV and the technical assistance was provided by my mentors. So this is regarding my PhD part, and now coming to the next important part of my professional journey is the interpersonal relationships. So when I completed the first workshop and then completed my PhD, during this course of the journey, the head of the department observed some key changes in my behavior, and then he approached me for the timetable in charge position for the department. And then he asked me that in this hybrid mode, or we can say parallel mode, in that at that time EKT was running parallel mode. That means 2 years were in exam mode and 2 years in classroom mode. So either there was adjustments to be made in the class for the classrooms or exam duties or both. So there was some kind of, you can say that some kind of opposition, because there was so much load on the faculty part. But so that demanded a stable head person to deal with that timetable in charge position. So I accepted that position, and it was 2021 and it's 2024 now. I'm continuing in that position, and I'm able to, I can probably say that in those last 3 years, my relationship with anyone and everyone in the department have flourished a lot, because in those situations in which the other person may not be on the same page on which I'm saying, but there has never been a case where I'm not able to state my requirements clearly and other has not fulfilled that. So a sense of complementarity between the two of us, the timetable person and the person who is going to do that, and the overall picture that contributing to the department's learning and the journey is much more. So with this, of late this year also, due to this, I'm also been appointed as the new faculty mentor. So all those faculty who are joining the college, I have been in the department, I have been made the mentor of those. So when they come to the college, I guide them regarding the rules and regulations in the unbiased manner. Because generally, if they discuss the thing with anyone, everyone, they might give their conclusions on them, which may be pleasant, may not be pleasant, and there might be some inputs which are not going to impact them, but they are made aware of that. Okay, if you do that, then this might be the consequence. They might not be even face that situation in the next 1 or 2 years, but it creates a lot of negativity. But when I'm assigned this responsibility, I make sure that I'm in just pure observation state. I'm just stating that these are the do's and that these are the don'ts, and there is nothing. I'm in the institute from last 11 years, and there's everything good. So this was the second part, and the third and the foremost important part is my classroom teaching, my behavior, my connection with the students. So I feel that I am a teacher by will, and during the teaching before the UHV came into my life, I can say that there were instances, mainly two things which were disturbing me a lot: the classroom aberrations, in which the certain disturbances from the students' part were impacting my behavior, which distracted me to react in a way which is not natural to me. And at that time, I also felt that, okay, if that 30-40 second incident is creating a disturbance, and then for the next 5 to 10 minutes when I'm in angry mode or I'm dealing with that situation in the classroom, then I am also the source of this disturbance in the class. So there was a change which was required in that mindset. And the second thing which was impacting me was students' performance in the assessments. So I felt that I am at my best, and there's everything that needs to be done is at the students' part. So this was not going well, but when I completed my UHV workshop, and then immediately after the workshop, I started teaching the UHV course, and there has been a certain shift in my teaching methodology. And now I feel that I'm not distracted by the students' behavior, and my teaching is more now connection oriented rather than output oriented. And whenever a unpleasant situation is there in the class, then I simply ask a question to myself: if the same thing happens 2 days after 2 days after, then would my response is, can there be a better response from my side? And answer is always yes, this I can further improve. So this paved a path that there is still a lot to be learned regarding the classroom behavior. And regarding the assessment part, now I can say that I'm able to find more solutions regarding the underperforming students. For example, I contact their parents, and when I contact their parents, I'm not generally complaining about them that your ward is this, your ward is like that. I am more focused that these are the strengths of your ward. Like, he's attending classes regularly, he's very disciplined, but somehow it is not getting translated into the output. So when I say these things to the parents, and in the very next class, the students comes and says that, sir, when you had when you had a conversation with our parents, and the way you have addressed the issue, it has also increased their acceptance in their family. Okay, at least these are the two things. My company is not bad, my attendance is not bad, I am disciplined, but the only thing is that I need to focus more. So with this, my connection with the students has improved a lot. And whenever my peers are asking, this generation, these are the Gen Z students, they are not interested in studying, they are more focused on this, they are more focused on that. So what can be done with these students? Then I always say that it is not that doing what I need to do with those. It's more important what I think about those students. Because if I think like that, then I may do 100 things, but they are not going to give me an output. But if I think that, okay, this is the situation, I'm not concluding that students are like this and that. I feel empathize, I feel sympathy, and I empathize with those, then my solutions can give me an output. So this is another aspect which has prompted my connection, which has translated my connections to more stronger ones. And now student can discuss their problems related to their academics, their personal life, their family lives, their financial issues, anything and everything regarding me with me. And I'm not saying that I'm providing them ready-made solutions, but the only thing which I'm doing is that I'm guiding to how to remain unaffected in those and in adverse situations. And once you are able to ensure that you are unaffected by the situation, then automatically solutions will come up, and they have to find their own solutions, but I can work on the stability part of this. So due to this, I feel that my connections are now long lasting, and even the pass out students are in touch. From the last 3 years, every single batch which I have taught are connected to me even right now in form of WhatsApp groups. And we are infrequent whenever there is Diwali, Holi, whenever there is any major accomplishment on the student side, they share in that group. And if I feel that there is an important thing which needs to be shared with the students, which can bring a qualitative shift in their lives, then I am sharing with them. So this is about my professional part and these things. And now coming to the parenting part, where I feel that this is my second most efficient domain where I've been able to contribute the most.
You have 3 minutes more only.
Okay, Devi. So I feel that I was good at content writing, so I made some stories in which there is a character which is doing things with natural acceptance, another character is not doing things with natural acceptance. So my kid can easily identify that these are the things which he needs to do. He may not be familiar with the terms like natural acceptance and we have devised a tool that search within for all the answers. Whenever he is ill and he is asking me that he wants to eat like this, then I just remind him that just check it out whether search within for this answer is your state, is your health permitting you to eat that, then I can proudly say that 100% of the times he has chosen the right thing, chosen the thing with the natural acceptance. And even in the some situations where my behavior in the family or in the at home is not up to the mark, he reminds me that, Papa, you can also search within for the answer, that right now, whether this is the desired state of yours and is this the way you are going to tackle, or there can be further improvements. So with this, I can say that there are a lot of changes, and time is running short, so I can conclude like that. There are three things which I am working on, and I am saying to my kid and my students as well that it's not always the darkness which is blinding us. It's more looking against the light as well. So it's more like, if I'm not understanding things properly, then most of the solutions are around me, but I will not be able to find the solution because I'm running against the light. And the second thing is how to remain unaffected, because when I'm unaffected by the situation, then automatically I can see the things in an unbiased manner and the solutions will automatically come to me. And third thing is power of restarting. And whenever I feel that there is a cloud, that this is, if a small thing has clouded my understanding, then I can restart at any point of time by simply observing. So I feel that this inner journey has prompted a better response in my outer journey, and in presence of this inner journey, I can celebrate the smallest possible accomplishments, and in absence of this inner journey, even the greatest of accomplishments of mine had no meaning. So with this, I express my gratitude to the whole UHV team for letting me express my emotions and the journey of my UHV. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jitendra-ji. And now I think without wasting time, Dr. Ila,
Yeah. Namaste to all. Thank you to all the three previous presenters who have almost set the stage for me. And myself, Dr. Ila Dedia. And the theme that I have chosen is competition to collaboration, external to internal. This is my journey, which I'm sharing. And as all of us are aware that currently I am an active UHV volunteer. But if I have to talk about myself, I've had a long professional life, almost 43 years of teaching at the undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral. And my specialization is textiles and fashion technology. And if I look at my family, I've been in a joint family at my parental place as well as my in-law family. We were a large family always. Since 2016, my in-laws passed away. So we are two of us right now. Both my daughters are married, settled, they have their own children. So I have two grandchildren from my older daughter and one granddaughter from my younger. So that way, again, we are a large family. So I can say that over the entire period of my marriage, that is my 37 years in the joint family that I've had, I can say that I've always, for me, family has played a very important role in my paternal side as well as my married life. However, right from childhood, I was always complimented for my achievements. Like, just to give a little example of the background that I came from, probably we were the first generation of people, children, who were able to talk in English because we went through an English medium school. Earlier, people went to a vernacular. So we were considered to be the best, because of that. Second is, community-wise, not many went into higher education, especially after graduation. So that way also I was considered the best. And the first women in my entire in-law family to have achieved a doctorate. So every moment there was so much of appreciation, and I thought that is the right way of life. I considered that to be the best. And that did give me happiness, but I did not realize that that was not a permanent happiness. After having all that also, after so much appreciation, internally I was not very happy many times. And the reason behind that was that I was always competing with myself, is what I realized with the UHV proposals. That I always wanted to be the best academically. I wanted to be the best as far as the department is concerned. I was heading the department. I wanted that also to be the best compared to others. When I was heading the institution, I wanted to be the best amongst the other institutions. And I realized that every moment there was something that I was putting stress on myself to be the best. And whatever having achieved, that would all go as achievements. But still, within myself, I was not happy. And I didn't know why. And it is not that I was not spiritually inclined. I was exposed to the Jaina philosophy long time, since my childhood. And I, in fact, did some courses in the University of Mumbai on the Jaina philosophy. So I was exploring within. But there was something that was surely missing, which I was not doing it in the right way. And I didn't know what I was not doing the right way. And it is only 6 months before my retirement, I got the chance to explore the UHV principles during COVID time with the online workshop. And that also, I did not do it voluntary. It was just that it was proposed by my management. They asked me to attend one of the online workshop. I did it with a lot of resistance. I didn't tell them anything, but within myself, I said I don't have time, because we all know during COVID time we were so busy with the household responsibilities, and I had my 2 grandchildren by that time. So, but anyway, with that resistance, I did it. On the very third day, I realized whatever I was doing it along with my daily course. But on the third day, I realized that this is what I was looking out for, and I need to listen to it. So I used to keep aside separate time to listen to the workshops. And that way I completed my 5-day FDP. Some proposals had touched me a lot. And I thought that, no, I need to get back to this again. So I continued. I did the refresher courses. I did the weekly meetings. I did the morning sessions. So I went deeper and deeper into it. And I realized that all the midnight lamp that I have lit to write papers, to write patents, the efforts that I've put into all the administration work, all the achievements that I have had, I felt that all this is of no meaning. It's just on paper. It's just something to write. But right now, it has got no meaning, because I used to get angry with my own self if I didn't achieve that level. I used to get angry on my colleagues if they did not come up to that level. So I realized that in relationships, I have lost. And the image that I had created for myself, they would say I'm very hardworking, but at the same time, they would also say I'm a taskmaster. So I got these labels for myself, and I used to get angry even at home if things were not in order, or if things were not done according to my expectations. And a lot of things like that small things used to keep happening. And I realized that I was not happy with them. With the proposals that I was exploring, I'll just come very quickly to the proposals that have touched me. Of course, it's been a long journey, but the first when I was actually conducting the sessions, and that time I realized when I was conducting that I am facilitating the session, I am communicating to the others, but myself, where am I? And these explorations within myself started happening. And then I was repeatedly conducting one particular topic. I did it for a very long time. And this was on the human being, the coexistence of self and body. And this I was exploring, discussing, and relating it to my real life. And this is when I really realized that all that I've achieved so far is equivalent to, it is only material, and it is all temporary. It's all going to pass away. What is going to remain with me, the continuity, is the self and the relationships and the right feeling within me, the harmony within me. And that is where I started exploring this proposal more and more. And I realized that the aspirations that I had of achieving all that I had was not worthy. because the basic aspiration is happiness and its continuity. And that was not happening with all those achievements. So that time, there was a moment when just I was retiring and I had many opportunities in front of me. And that was the time I did away with a lot of these distractions. One of it was all the post positions. Yes, one more thing was that since the last 27, 28 years, I've also been into social work with NGOs. And I was holding high positions there also, managing trustee and president and all that. So I realized that although I was doing good work, I'm very passionate about social work, but somehow it is not helping me to be happy within. Again, it's the same problems that are coming in. So I did away with all that also. And I said, let me go inwards. Let me explore what is really the meaning of human life. And let me see what is my basic aspiration. And this explorations really helped me a lot. It gave me time for relationship also. It gave me a lot of time with my family, extended family, with my colleagues. I restarted my foundation. I mean, I started a new foundation with new objectives, with new vision. And that's how my entire journey, you can say, it retired, it restarted. And some few more proposals that I would like to say is trust. Uh, I realized that I was not trusting people. I always thought that whatever I do is the best. So I wanted to take it and do it because of that level of perfection that I was expecting. And this factor of trust also touched me a lot. I was exploring this and I realized that everybody does their best. Nobody does half heartedly. Everyone's intention is to make the other happy. It is just that we are all differing in competencies. And I realized that I differ. I'm lacking so many competencies. I was thinking I'm the best, but that was not the case. I realized that I myself am lacking so many competencies and others are bearing with me. So why am I getting angry on others? So this way I was exploring and I realized that wherever I was now lacking competency, I became very open to understanding, to learning. And that settled down myself a lot. It settled the stress that was there with people around me, the family, my colleagues, wherever. And I also realized that the other also wants to learn. They also want to reach a better competency level. So I started helping others also. This helped me to become calm, becoming more nurturing, rather than becoming more demanding. I started accepting failures from my own self and also of others. I won't call that failures, but I'll say there were some competencies that we all have to build for with each other. Even the proposal of other is similar to me. I got exposure to this philosophy, this proposal, but I've never explored it so much. And here I realized that the purpose, program, and potential, because I was able to do the human being self and body, the distinction between the two, here I realized that from the perspective of self, other is similar to me. And the purpose, program, and potential of all is the same. So I realized that I need to collaborate with the other. Everyone's potential is it's the same, my potential and the other's potential. So I realized that I need to collaborate, I need to take help, and I need to give help. And also another proposal that I was exploring was the difference between care and guidance. So all my life I thought I was the best. I was the best mother, the best teacher, the best wife, and all that, whatever, daughter-in-law. But I realized that my focus was more on to care. And guidance was somewhere missing. I assumed everybody has to do it themselves. But this also, I realized that I need to I need to pay attention, I need to give special time. And I started spending a lot of time with family members, my immediate family members, the larger family, and wherever I'm interacting with the NGOs and collaborating in institutions, I try to look at more on the need of the self. Because of all this, the ripple effect happened. Also, the proposal of gratitude, where earlier I used to focus on things not done. Now I started focusing on things that were done. And because I was able to see the innumerable things that are being done which is there in nature, which is there in this existence, and because of which it's all, there's so much of coordination and collaboration already there in the nature. And I realized that I can focus on all that rather than focusing on things that are not done. And thereby I was able to have the feeling of gratitude for everyone and for those units in nature which have contributed to my development and to the development of others. And the last proposal that I'm exploring, and I have been exploring a lot amongst all the proposals, I've just selected a few, is excellence. So earlier, my assumption of excellence was that you have to excel, be the best compared to the others. So that is why I get into competition. I was in that state of competition in all my life. And I realized that excellence is not through competition. Excellence can be achieved through collaboration and through participation, so that we are able to bring about harmony within ourselves, within the family, society, and nature. And it is this exploration which is helping me now. I have that entire past, which was of competition, that feeling of competition is no longer there. And right now, the feeling is wherever I'm able to contribute to the harmony. So my life has, you can say, taken a full U-turn. All that stress and strain and that anger and those feelings of incompleteness, of non-acceptance of failure has completely changed, and it has become more peaceful, more calm, more feelings of relationship with many. I like to collaborate, I like to help, I like to facilitate the development of others, because in that facilitation, I can see my development. I can see wherever I'm, working on the harmony of other levels, whether it is family or friends or anywhere in the society or nature, I can see that I'm growing because of that. So it is giving me that internal peace. I can see the happiness which was earlier hardly there. Even though everything was there, I can now see that when there is nothing, I can say that this entire journey of external to internal has really helped me a lot. And that is why I said from competition to collaboration. So it is giving me those moments which I am enjoying. I'm happy with my family. My family is also very happy. They've been sharing this very often, that Mama, you're so relaxed. You're spending so much time now with us. So whether it is my daughters, my spouse, my extended family, they've all been sharing this with me. Similarly, I've been getting feedback from the institutions where I'm connected. They can see that change that is there in me. Some people may not be noticing, but many have noticed that change within me. And I'm also interacting with students through my foundation. So they are the ones who have been constantly giving me feedback. They like to spend time with me. I can see them coming with their personal problems, their challenges, and we are free to, we are able to discuss them out. We are able to help them to find their own way. So I think this universal human values, all the proposals are very meaningful. But some of these proposals which have touched me a lot and which I'm still exploring, this is not my complete exploration. I'm still exploring. I'm in my journey. Every time something new happens and I try to correlate it with these proposals, I find an answer to it. So I just like to give one very small example. Actually, my younger daughter, she already has a baby who's 2.5 years, and she was supposed to have another baby. And she went through a miscarriage. And when she was going through the miscarriage, she was under great depression. So, and along with her, even I was also feeling very low. And then I was exploring the the UHV proposals. And then I was able to talk to her. I was able to counsel her and able to explain to her that what has gone was body and that was temporary. And The self never dies. It is always there. It is continuous. So I was able to help her to come out of that. And today I'm again happy to say this is about a year backstory. And today I'm just happy to say that she's expecting another baby. She's hale and hearty, and everything is very fine. So I'm able to see that difference between the two realities, the self and body. And I'm able to see that also, that body or other material things are all temporary, and it's not worth, running behind it the way I was. And what is important, what will always continue, is the self. And every self, the need of every self is relationship. Every self needs feelings. So that is what needs to be fulfilled. That is what will bring about harmony within ourselves and with others also. So this is what I have explored, and I thought I must share it with all of you all. Thank you so much.
And I think
Yeah, we can take questions if any.
if there are any questions, please raise your hand.
Someone is saying something. Yeah. Any questions anyone has? Otherwise, we can go on with our chairperson, Nitika Di.
There is a question I can go through this. I'm seeing myself and what I'm going through as management teacher for close to 20 years by now. I am resonating with each and every word and feeling of yours. It is as of myself is speaking. Now that I have 11 more years to retire and then life to lead, and being an explorer through UHV since 2020, I got a lot of clarity for my way ahead. Thank you so much. This is the message I read out from Shelja ma'am. She's saying it to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shelja ma'am.
There is another, I got this, which in your opinion is more important, being contented in life or being in happiness?
If you're looking at contentment, could relate to physical facility, and there is no. That's what I understand from your question. If you're looking at the difference between the two, happiness is the state of being right now. If I am in harmony, that is happiness. So it is very simple to understand. There is no big explanation that it requires. Happiness is very simple. If you are calm within, if you are in harmony, that is happiness. So contented is how much you require to be content. That is what one has to decide. So one can decide for oneself. If one understands the importance of body and the role of the body, then one can decide how much one requires to be contented.
Very nice.
I hope I've been able to answer the question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, mostly questions are like this: electronic gadgets. The small children's, they are more inclined to do the higher education, but they are towards the mobile, and everyone is facing the same problem. How we can make our kids away from this mobile facility? Ma'am, mute. You are mute, ma'am.
I also face the same problem, and even I did not have an answer earlier. I used to only say, don't use the mobile, don't touch the mobile, your screen time is too much. I used to just give such dialogues. But with UHV, I understood that I have to explore with my child. I have to spend time with the child. If I play with the child doesn't want the mobile. And I've realized that I have 3 grandkids, 8 years, 5 years, and 2.5 years. And this is true for all the 3 of them. If I'm spending time with them, talking, telling them a story, reading a book, playing some game with them, they don't ask for the mobile. They don't even touch the mobile. But if that is not the case, then they look at us. If we are using the mobile, they also want to peep into our mobile what we are seeing. And sometimes they ask us to play some song, play some music. But if we give an option to them, see, it requires some effort from our side. So if we are able to give that time to them, we are able to keep them away from it. And if you're looking at older children, teenage and the older ones, we have to realize one thing, that they require mobile also, because it can be used for education or for some work. But at the same time, if you realize that they're misusing it, then you have to help them, explore with them. And as Jitendra ji said, how he's exploring with his child, even I do the same with my children and grandchildren. And that exploration, when you ask them the question, help them to refer to their natural acceptance, it helps. So that dialogue within themselves has to be established. And that is what we have to facilitate with. It helps. It definitely helps. It'll take time.
Very right, ma'am. More development to the contribution. Your lines, ma'am. This is perfectly suiting here. Okay, with the kids, we have to, devote our time with the kids in
Yeah.
activities, with the playing with them. So they will leave it. Very nice, ma'am. So
So it's
questions are
just the same thing, that we should also not expect too much change from others. We have to work at our own change. So children are going to do what they are seeing from us. So if we can be a good example to them, that will help. So no change is going to come suddenly. Plus, do's and don'ts won't help. If we tell them not to do it, it won't help. So we have to help them explore and see whether it's good for them or not. Yeah, Nitika ji, if there are no other questions, then you can take it up.
Yes, ma'am. No other questions are there. So the summarization is experience leads to the love, care, affection, feelings. All the four presenters, they perfectly told us about the UHVs. And UHV is basically towards the love, care, affection, feeling, the parenting journey, their personal experience. The ma'am, my suggestion, my summarization is, I would like your wordings. Ambitions leads to unhappiness to some extent. So hence one should see in his inner space perfection. We should not run for the perfection. We have to be open and go with the heartfulness, inner peace, and excellence through the collaborations, and it will bring harmony to us. We should go towards the contribution by taking each and everyone in the community with us. Inner journey is more important. We should be in the phase we can restart. We should not rigid to this. Whenever we got time, we restart this. Our behavior towards the students, when they are making noise or they are naughty, then coolness should be there. It will increase the student progress index. The skills will be increased and students will listen to us. Then value addition in the education, the ethics should be there. It increase the interpersonal relationship as well. So UHV in total era, in the whole, is I can say, the increase our potentiality, personal relationships, and our excellence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So we have about 5 minutes in case there are any questions. I have a question to Jitendra ji. And Jitendra ji, my question is that you are at a very, you can say, at the peak of a career. At this age, anybody would be at the peak of a career. How did you get inspired to value education? I mean to say, of course, you were exposed because of the institution where you are at, whatever is happening. But then there are hundreds of students who are in such hundreds of faculty who are there in such an institution. What was it that inspired you to get into value education?
I have also expressed in my sharing that when I was in my outer journey, then the major of the accomplishments, the effect of those journeys, those accomplishments was not lasting for long.
Yeah.
So it gave me an impression that, okay, I have now completed my PhD. I have now married. I have got married to a person to whom I wanted. Now I have a good kid. But still, some sense of contentment was missing because all those things were not related to the inner part because they were more of the outer thing which were happening in my life. So, but when these proposals came into my life, then those instances when I was in the workshop, or we can say I'm not saying that I'm fully resolved now, but whenever I am able to explore that there is something that can be done at my end, which has only been possible due to these UHV workshops, then I can feel that those small little moments, the effect of those small little moments can last for long and they can leave a lasting impact on your whole journey. So that give me a firm idea that if anything has to be done, it has to be through the inner journey. And there is no better tool of this other than this UHV. Now, and one thing more than which I think that is more important, this has played an important role. Before this UHV, I was not a spiritual person at all. I had not read any spiritual book or anything. So now when I read any spiritual book, I relate that, okay, this is, okay, UHV bhi ek hai. UHV says the same thing. Now, while understanding UHV, I had not referred anything, but now if I am reading or listening to anything, I can see that, okay, UHV is also saying the same thing. That creates more and more profoundness towards UHV that yes, whatever I have heard, whatever I have listened, it is showing me the correct path. So
Yeah.
this, I think, has inspired me to get in connect and remain in contact with UHV.
Yeah, I'd also like to add here because even I was there with the Jaina philosophy since many years, but and the principles, the proposals are very similar, but the way it has been presented and the way it has been prepared, the content, it helps us to explore in a better way.
Yes.
So I think the process is very important, and even the manner in which the content flows. So that really helps. I think that is what has really helped me.
Yes. And reaching that point that existence is coexistence.
Yeah.
Actually, the complete UHV, the 5 units in UHV2 and 8 days, ultimately teaches us that we cannot exist on our own. We are connected to each other,
Yeah.
even and everyone.
Yeah. So that's what, the exploration though begins at a very early stage. But as we are connected with the content on a daily basis, and as we are connected with higher workshops, the explorations get more profound, they really get more deeper.
Yes.
And that helps us with that understanding, to get that right understanding. It comes in our conduct. I don't think we put efforts to bring that change in the conduct. But I think it is that thinking which is very important, which
Yes.
is helping us to make decisions very easily. I don't think we've put effort to bring this transformation. The transformation has happened because of the way the content we have been exploring.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm sure Sopanji also has the same thing, and Vanshnaji also has the same thing.
Yes, Didi, we're on the same journey.
Yeah.
Self-exploration, I think, is the key. Proposals
Yeah.
are coming, and then we have to explore. That's the best part. We can verify.
Yeah, and I really liked what Vanshnaji spoke about her relationship with the two daughters, how their life also becomes easier along with our right understanding and our approach, how it impacts upon others' lives. So that's really, really nice. It was really good to hear. So thank you, Dr. Nitika Vats, for your the chairing of the session that you did very nicely. And also, Vinay Bhaiya, are you here, Vinayji? So thanks to you also for the chairing of the session. I'm playing a dual role right now because the anchor of this entire program is not well. So I realized it only when we were starting the session. So I really thank all the audience, the participants on the Zoom, participants on the YouTube, and I thank all my colleagues who have presented, Vanchana, Dr. Vanchana ji, Swapan ji, Jitendra ji. I thank all of you all, and special thanks to the tech team, the technological team, as well as to all the volunteers without whom this wouldn't have happened. So I think it's because of the work of all the volunteers. I mean, it was really, really nice. So can we just have a group picture? Vinay ji,
Ji. In
can you
fact,
please?
we can just say thanks to you also, because Didi, we as team are working together, and as a
Yeah.
family we are growing by each day. New and new family members are joining with more exploration. So nice. All of us can switch on the cameras for this little.
Yeah, Vinay ji, you can switch on the
Thank you
camera.
all. Thank you all.
So we can have a complete view.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dee. Thank you so much.
Somebody, Ritu ji, one
Thank you.
second. We'll take a picture with Ritu ji. You come a little closer to the camera. Ritu ji also was volunteering. So thanks to you also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dee. Thank you giving us the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all.
Thank you.
Namaste.